Dinosaurs. Thinking a meteor simply crushed them is a myth. What actually wiped them out was 10,000 times more terrifying. 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid slammed into Earth. You think the ones at ground zero suffered the most? Wrong. They were actually the lucky ones, obliterated in a split second. They never felt a thing. But for those thousands of miles away, that was true hell. They faced a scorching trillions of tons of rock blasted into space, raining back down as liquid fire. The planet became a global oven. Surface temps spiked to 600 forests degrees, ignited, oceans, dinosaurs were baked alive in minutes. But even that wasn't the worst part. Those who hid in caves or deep underwater, miraculously surviving, now faced a brutal decade of darkness and starvation. The sun vanished. Plant life died. The food chain collapsed. The last dinosaurs weren't blown up. They didn't burn. They slowly truly chills scientists to the bone. From the first casualty to the very last breath. How much time passed? Not days, months. It was an agonizing extinction lasting millennia. What does that mean? It means for tens of thousands of years, dinosaurs died every single day. Every day was a losing battle. Every day, in absolute despair, another took its last breath. That is the true horror. Let's rewind the clock back to that fateful day 66 million years ago. That seemed perfectly ordinary. The sun rose as usual. A warm, golden glow bathed the lush forests. Triceratops grazed on ancient ferns. A T-Rex patrolled its territory, while pterosaurs glided gracefully above. Not a single creature knew. Death had already locked onto them. Meanwhile, deep in space, a massive asteroid, 6 to 9 miles wide, hurtled toward Earth at a blistering 12 miles per second. That's 60 times faster than a bullet. 58 times the speed of sound. From to LA, New York, in under a minute. This originated past this Jupiter. After drifting for millions of years, it finally found its target. Impact minus 3 hours. Dinosaurs lived on, blissfully unaware. On the North American plains, Alamosaurus were on the move. The largest land animals of their time. 70 feet long, weighing a massive 30 tons. They devoured a ton of vegetation daily. A mother had just laid her eggs. She couldn't know they would never hatch. Minus 20 minutes. The sky shifted. The crystal clear blue faded into an eerie blood orange. Birds went silent, frantically flapping in panic. Dinosaurs halted, looking around. They felt a shift, but couldn't comprehend it. Impact minus 1 minute. A blinding streak of light pierced the sky, brighter than 1,000 suns. The world turned a ghostly white. Hundreds of miles away, dinosaurs had their eyes instantly scorched, blinded on the spot. But they could feel it, unimaginable terror closing in. At impact, the entire Earth shuddered. The asteroid, traveling over 45,000 miles per hour, smashed into the Yucatan Peninsula. The energy unleashed equaled 10 billion Hiroshima bombs. To put in perspective, humanity's strongest nuke, the Tsar, is a mere firecracker in comparison. Bomba. The ocean at ground zero didn't just boil, it ceased to exist. Earth's crust tore like wet paper. Rock instantly melted into magma, blasted by the shockwave 100 miles into the atmosphere. Over 80,000 cubic miles of crust was blasted into space. These fragments would soon rain back down as a storm of hellfire. Plus 5 seconds. Within a 1,000 mile radius, all life turned to ash, not burned. Vaporized, no bones left behind. These were the lucky ones, erased before they could feel pain. Plus 2 minutes. A supersonic shockwave expanded outward. A force so violent, it flayed skin from bone. Massive 30-ton dinosaurs were tossed like ragdolls. Giant trees snapped and burst into flames. The very air became a searing fire. Plus 30 minutes. Billions of tons of rock debris entered space, orbited the Earth, then plummeted back in a white-hot state. An apocalyptic rain of fire began. It poured 4 days. The raging global firestorms were unstoppable. Fire rains down from the sky. Plus 45 minutes. Mongolia, 8,000 miles from ground zero. The dinosaurs here think they're safe. They're wrong. A wall of extreme is closing in fast. Surface temps spike from 90 to 120 degrees. Then 100. Then 200 at 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Life is measured in mere seconds. Plus 90 minutes. Surface temps hit 300 degrees. Some dinosaurs take refuge in caves. The rocky microclimate offers temporary relief. Plus 2 hours. The ejecta cloud and ignites. Massive thermal winds spawn global firestorms. Firestorm valleys, air creating a vacuum. Fire is sucked right in. Dry brush ignites like a powder keg. A wall of flames sweeps the land. At 10 miles per hour, just hours ago, North America was a dinosaur paradise. Now, it's a living hell. Plus 5 hours. Temps finally begin to drop, but a darker threat is brewing. Impact dust acts like a heavy curtain, completely blanketing the globe. The sun vanishes. Scientists estimate this dust choked the atmosphere for at least 20 years. Earth goes from an oven to an icebox. Temps plunge below freezing. Without photosynthesis, stops dead. Ferns and pines wither on land. In the oceans, algae, DS, and mass, a 2000 study published in Nature reveals the impact unleashed 2 trillion tons of silicate dust. This halted global plant growth for nearly 2 years. The strike, Earth enters a nuclear winter. Global temperatures plummet. The food chain collapses from the bottom up. T+1 food is critically scarce. Herbivores fall first. Giants like Triceratops and require hundreds of pounds of vegetation daily just to survive. But now there is only scorched earth. They march in desperate herds, migrating in search of green, finding only dead ends everywhere. Starvation drains them. Their pace slows. One by one, they collapse, becoming the final meals for surviving carnivores. The T-Rex, the former apex predator of the land, is now stumbling and starving. Its past dominance and ferocity gone. Only raw survival instinct remains. The barren plains, their roars echoing with despair. Ultimately, they either starve to death or turn on each cannibalizing other their own for scraps. The oceans fare no without better. Algae oxygen levels plummet. Ancient marine leviathans slowly suffocate. They die. Carcasses litter the ocean surface. Creatures that ruled for 100 million years are systematically erased. Yet, life finds a way deep underground in muddy swamps and rocky crevices. Unassuming creatures hide. Insects, amphibians, and tiny rat-sized mammals lurking in the dark, scavenging on meager foodstuffs or rotting roots. They weather the apocalypse. Scientists, between 2012 and 2022, excavated the Taunus site in North Dakota. They unearthed a dinosaur leg from the exact day of the impact. No bite marks. No bite marks. Experts conclude cleanly it was ripped off by sheer raw concussive force. Years, perhaps decades later, the atmospheric finally settles. Sunlight pierces the dense clouds, faintly but stubbornly warming the earth. Ice begins to thaw. Streams flow. Rain washes the scorched earth, revealing soil beneath. Buried seeds awaken, nourished by water and light. Tiny shoots push upward, piercing through the thick ash. The earth breathes again, and those tiny mammals once cowered in the shadows of giants finally emerge. They run, forage, and thrive on plains once ruled by dinosaurs. Their numbers explode, filling the vacant ecological niches. The world has changed. The age of reptiles is officially over. The age of mammals begins. 66 million years later, one of them stands upright, masters tools, invents language, and ultimately becomes the new master of this planet. Us, humanity. So, you see, the asteroid didn't erase. It simply hit the Earth's reset button. Without that cataclysm, dinosaurs might still rule today, and humanity might never have existed. Which leaves one final question. If that rock had missed Earth, if the dinosaurs hadn't died, what would Earth look like today? Would we still sit at the top of the food chain,